At this point, there are no solid plans regarding where student media will go after the building is demolished. Boom.
But one of our big issues right now is everybody's wondering where we're going to be when this building goes down.
Snow Hall is still a building that we need to vacate because of its condition. It does not warrant reinvestment to rehabilitate it. There is a approximate 20-person student committee that is working on a ballot initiative, and if they can get the 2,700 signatures needed to bring forth a ballot, then the building will be voted on in about the third week of May. If it passes, then we can immediately begin plans for developing the construction, and my guess is we're still 2 to 3 years out.
So student media is facing, there's many different issues on, many different levels. There is our relationship between other departments on campus, which my time here I have tried to close the gaps and make more bridges with other departments on campus. Another issue that student media faces is exposure and the campus accepting us for being student media. Everybody sees the Daily Barometer out there, but they don't necessarily know what it takes to put a paper together. They don't understand that on top of being editors and reporters for the Barometer, that they are also students and also have jobs on top of that to support them while they're in school. So, it's a cutthroat business. You have to be able to produce your own content and be able to multitask and get from one place to another and then get your story turned in on time. So in the next couple years, actually, I feel that, I think student media is going to make a huge impact on campus more than it is. So, the 5 years I've been here, I've definitely seen it grow. We went from 20 people at an info meeting to 150 in 2 years. And I see nothing but more growth. A lot of help is from the NMC department, since we have that option now in the liberal arts department. It is definitely sending a lot of people over here to student media to hone the skills and work on them and improve them, and I see that just keep going up and up, because the media industry is ever changing and nobody exactly knows where it's going to be. So that always, that heightens a lot of people's interest to be, I want to be that next person that invents the new iPhone or whatever the new thing will be. Whatever that is, who knows, but I see growth.
Well, I think we're going to have to move more towards the new media. I think we're going to have to work better with our other media techniques, television, radio, sharing ads, sharing the news, because we have such a smaller community base for each department that I think we need to do a little more teamwork and bouncing off each other to try and cover more. And I think it'd be great when we have these big stories if somehow we connected better with TV and they ran out on the important stories and got it, and we could do more blogging and downloading that onto the website so people could see the fire or see the crash or see whatever it is that's happened.
Student media has a good reputation. I just think that every year is going to raise new questions about how solvent certain parts of the organization should be. So,
and the Barometer, the Barometer I feel will always be there because, it goes all the way back to the basic skills of writing a good story, being able to tell a story from somebody else's perspective and giving them all the facts they need and understanding, how that person feels within that story that it's about.
students, faculty, and staff expect to see the paper every single day. How do we know? Because when it was late arriving on campus, people would call us. You know, where's the barometer? Where's the barometer? And you know, I don't know today if readership is up or down, but you know, we know nationally that young people aren't reading as much as they do, and they prefer, you know, online media to get a lot of their news.
We put 2 assistant directors in positions of supervisory roles for student media, one on broadcast and one on the print side. But neither of them had editorial content experience. And so when the editorial staff came forward and said, we're really not getting advised in this one particular area, we came up with a solution of bringing someone on as a very part-time role, only 10 hours a week. But it certainly plugged the gap of the skill set of the 2 assistant directors. So we went out and found someone with editorial experience, and the university allows us to bring that person on with just simply processing paperwork as a temporary
Having
hourly.
with what the students have to deal with now, that they've really stepped up and tried to cover the bases, and it's really difficult when you don't have the accessibility to you that the students used to have. And
Over the J school.
That and you know, not having a student media advisor here that you guys can bounce things off of, and that can give you kind of inside scoops and things like that, that's around all day, that hears the breaking news, that can pass it on.
I think the barometer is still a stepping stone for people to get jobs. And there are lots of jobs out there. You know, it may not be in newspaper journalism, but there are jobs in corporate communication that when personnel people see the type of experience that the barometer offers, and they see that people were engaged in out-of-class activities, they're going to recognize that as somebody who is a can-do person and a person who can fit in with their organization. And I think that's what the barometer is helping to place people. Yeah, there are jobs in broadcast media and online media, and all those areas. I think whichever you choose, there are jobs out there. You just have to find the right niche for you and go for it. Well, I think with the student media majors or the NMC majors, I think you know, there has to be a crossover on what people do. It's not just print today. You've got to be familiar with how to use a camera. You have to know how to edit stories. You have to be in a position where you can both write, edit, shoot, interview, and put packages together for both print and broadcast. So, and to use the internet to your advantage too. So, to supplement some of the print work that you do, you have to have some online media experience as well.
We've kind of gotten a way of thinking about everybody as different. We've kind of gone to the mentality that everybody's the same. We're all here to deliver a message, and we're trying to figure out how to convert ourselves and pass on the same information, just different ways. That way we're not doing double duty to cover the same story on either the Barometer and KBVR or Barometer and KBVR FM. We're just trying to figure out how we can, you know, share content, share the video, share the reporting. That way the double duty doesn't have to, but we're able to deliver that message in many different forms to many different audiences.
I'm Christian Sinnott, and I'm a freshman.
What does student-operated media mean to you? As in its importance or its usefulness?
I think it's pretty important. It gives me something interesting to read every day, and it keeps me kind of in tune, in line, you know, with everything going on campus.
How often do you consume?
Well, with like the newspaper, I probably read it about every day. Whereas KBVR, I haven't
Yesterday
watched
I
it all,
had Panther.
but I've listened to the radio a little bit.
Do you use the internet?
Oh yeah,
That's right.
I get some news through that internet. So
The internet, television.
yeah.
Dude, everything but these shoes are from Costco.
You can't get shoes at Costco yet.
You can't. They have